Welcome to May, and it is amazing out here in May. May being the busiest month here at the manor outside, and particularly in the garden. And things are just exploding around here, and I'm probably going to have to break this up into two installments, part one and part two. So we better get started so I can show you everything that's happening around here. Let's start by strolling over here. And you can see that bed one is now in full production. And if you watch the prequel to the May gardening video, you saw that I did finally get this thing filled, and we've had to move stuff all around, but everything is now planted, so we're well on our way. But let's start here with chives. I promised you they would be blooming like crazy, and they are. And these little flower things, when they're young like this, you can break these off and put them into dip or into salad, and you get that nice chive flavor, but the pretty purple color too. But let's see what's going on in bed one now that it's raised and filled, and that is corn. Just planted yesterday actually, and no, I'm sorry, 2 days ago. And I like to start my corn inside so I get a nice even germination. I know what I'm planting. And in between the corn there is some pumpkins. We're going to see how pumpkins do in with the corn. So traditional. And underneath here we've got lima beans. It's supposed to be a bush lima, but they seemed to climb last year, so we're giving them something to climb on this year too. Followed by pole beans. We got two varieties as the plane flies overhead. This is a green pole bean, and beyond that is the red noodle beans, which we've come to like quite a bit. And looking kind of disheveled, but that's the way they always look, are sweet potatoes. This is 2 rows of sweet potatoes. And these guys look rather sickly, but they will come around during this month, and in no time they'll be filling this bed and covering it over. We also planted a couple of pumpkins here on the corners. We're just going to see how they do. Let them maybe run out into the yard or something like that. And look at these brassicas. They're just coming along great. As you remember, brassicas are in order here. Brussels sprouts and broccoli and cabbage. And this is a kind of different variety of cabbage. It grows in kind of a cone shape. So that'll be interesting. Just want to try something different. And here are peas. These are pea pods, and they didn't germinate all that greatly. So I'm using pea brush, which means those sticks that are just stuck in the ground there, and the peas should climb up on that. That's all they should need. Whereas the sugar snap peas came in much thicker, so I'm using the netting for them to climb up on. Leeks. Some are doing well, some are not doing so well, but the ones that are doing well look fine, so they should be pretty good. This is our second planting of beets, which you can't see because they were just planted. But that's how far along we are here. Here's the first row of beets that are coming in and due to be thinned. And look at these lettuce. Oh, they are just fantastic. I need to get in there and grab some of those and thin them out a little bit. May have to take some to work because I don't think I'm going to be able to eat all that lettuce. And 2 rows of carrots that have been freshly thinned, and they're looking pretty good. Here's a nice row, or 2 rows of spinach coming in pretty good. And just a few more radishes left because the first planting is almost all done. I just left a few in there so you could see them. And we'll be planting, or we actually did plant the second planting of those guys. Meanwhile, let's stroll over here to bed number 3. And the onions look like a tangle of onions, but they're really doing quite well. And they look just the way they're supposed to, coming in nice and strong. They will be bulbing up pretty soon. And look at the potatoes. They are just lovely also. I've already hilled them up once, because that's what you want to do with potatoes, so that the potatoes will grow in those nice mounds of soft dirt. But they're almost ready to be hilled up again. So they're just growing like crazy. And let's move on to bed number 4. This is going to be another planting of sweet potatoes, but they're going to be the sweet potato slips that I actually started from potatoes from the grocery store. So we'll see how those do. They'll go in late, but that'll be okay. Okra is coming along okay. There's actually one that's got a little bloom on it, although it hasn't quite bloomed yet. And a couple of rows, or a row of eggplants here. And then we've got 3 varieties of peppers. And look, we actually already have a pepper on a couple of these plants, so that's pretty exciting. The tomatoes coming in okay. They're a little bit leggy, but they should recover soon. We'll just feed them and get them nice and strong. But they're all doing okay. And that brings us on to bed number 5 and 6, which were vacant last year, as you remember, but this year we're going whole hog and we're growing everything. These are summer squash varieties down at this end, and then this end we have melons, a couple of varieties of melons, and they're just getting started. They were also just planted this past weekend from seedlings, of course. And this bed out here is winter squash, including one variety of pumpkin, and the rest are all actual winter squash. And they also seem to be doing just okay. And that's a good thing. And then we got Molly. And Molly is looking around to see what's going on out here in the garden. And we're listening to the peacocks in the background, and the birdies, and there might be bunnies and mouses around. Who knows what's going to be out here. Take a quick look out at the pumpkin patches, because we've got activity out there. We've got a few varieties of pumpkins out here. Bliss is kind of an oddball variety of pumpkin. They're not orange, but they are a pumpkin. And then we did put some extra Dill Atlantic Giants out here too. And finally, let's go out to the greater pumpkin patch, as it's called. And you can see I've got the plastic sheeting up for a windbreak, and I've got 3 protected areas, the plastic lined boxes for my 3 Dill's Atlantic Giant plants, which we are trying this year to grow another giant. We'll see if we can better my personal best of about 200 pounds, which was the first one I ever grew. And then you can also see that I've put up some wire to protect from deer that might be curious, and also some chicken wire for any bunnies that might be coming in to take a nibble. Excuse me. They usually don't bother with the pumpkins, but every once in a while I get someone curiously nibbling at them, and we don't want that. So then the other plants you see in there are marigolds, which we're planting all over the garden. Because they have bug repellent properties, so it's nice to be able to make use of that natural bug repellent, and especially against the hated cucumber beetle. So that's about all that's happening here out in the May garden, and but that's a lot, don't you think? So we are fully underway. Everything is planted except for a few second plantings of things that I want to do. And other than that, it's all going, and it's all going strong. We are staring down the face of Memorial Day weekend. And so that'll be nice. And we hope that you have a great Memorial Day weekend. And we'll be out here not as busy as the last few weekends, but busy nonetheless. And having a good time, enjoying the kickoff of summer unofficially. So until next time, June, we will see you, and happy summer, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.